Hello and welcome everybody to a modern stream. Today we're going to be going a little bit deep. We're going to be really going all in on Scapeshift. This is a deck list that I saw posted on Twitter. I think it was brewed by a Japanese player. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with the name. But this deck list is really interesting. It really piqued my interest because it is very well thought out in terms of trying to take the most advantage of the card Scapeshift and like trying to really just exploit this card to the best of our ability. So you will see that I am even foregoing a little bit on the Primeval Titan plan. That's probably one of the reasons why this decklist may not be very good, but I still think it's great from an experimental standpoint. So let's try to dissect this a little bit. So we're playing the full 4 copies of Scapeshift first of all, and we are also playing Trinket Mage as well. And the reason why Trinket Mage is interesting is because obviously it gives us some extra access to Amulet of Vigor. So in order for Scapeshift to be good, we need to have access to Amulet or Dryad. I mean, Scapeshift can be good otherwise, but like in order to really take advantage of it and to really make it as good as it can be, then we really need to have either Dryad or Trinket or Amulet of Vigor in play, so that we can truly, for this card to really be good. Also, one thing that I've talked about in previous videos testing Scapeshift is the lack of synergy between bounce lands and Urza Saga with Scapeshift, right? Because bounce lands get you down the land, right? Because Scapeshift doesn't care about how much mana your lands add; it cares about the amount of lands that you have in play. And the same is true with Urza Saga, which sacrifices itself. So you will see that this deck is only playing 7 bounce lands. Which I think it's very interesting, but again, like it really makes sense because we're trying to really exploit the Scapeshift angle of the deck. So we're only playing 7 bounce lands and the 4 sagas, obviously, and we're only playing 28 lands, 17 of which are just regular lands that we can just play out, and we have access to some blue sources as well because we need to be able to cast our Trinket Mage, of course. 3 basic forest and 1 basic island to go fetch with our Sacred Tribe Elders, and a couple of Cultivator Colossus, and we're playing 2 copies because again, like we're trying to do the Scapeshift thing, and like the best way to do the Scapeshift thing is by having access to Cultivator Colossus. Also 2 Valakuts. I think it's interesting to explore the possibility of adding a 3rd copy, since again we're just trying to go all in and just really exploit the Scapeshift thing. I think 2 is probably just the better amount, to be honest. And like the singleton copy of Crumbling Vestige, I think it's very important in Scapeshift builds because it can act as a bounce land that doesn't put you down a land. So I think having access to Vestige can be very powerful. We also in the sideboard have Dismembers, Force of Vigor, Endurance, and since we are going all in on Scapeshift, I think that the 2 copies of Veil of Summer are kind of interesting. The same is true for the Red-Black Scam matchup, where Veil can potentially be pretty good. 3 copies of Hydra Crisis, 1 Engineered Explosives, Boseiju, and Bojuka Bog. I didn't just like straight up copy and paste the deck list. I made a couple of changes. The original list had 4 Trinket Mage and only 27 lands. I am just not comfortable playing that little amount of lands, not without any cantrips, right? Like you can probably get away with 28, 27 lands if you're playing like Ancient Steerings or things like that, which I don't think it's great anymore for what's worth, but like it can allow you to get away with playing less lands, but without any cantrips whatsoever, because this doesn't really count like a cantrip, right? I just don't think that 27 lands is enough, so going up to 28 here. Also, a couple of lands in the sideboard is always useful when you're trying to side out your Urza Sagas, which we kind of are going to be able to do because we have access to Trinket Mage, so that's pretty nice too. But yeah, very excited to give this a shot. I honestly don't know what to expect. I think sideboarding is going to be really awkward, to be honest, because there are going to be a bunch of matchups where like we don't really want to be on the Scapeshift plan, but we're just kind of gonna be forced to be on the Scapeshift plan because it's like so many cards and we're probably not gonna have enough cards to bring back in. So I think we're gonna have to figure out a lot of things on the way there. But I think this list is interesting enough to want me to give it a shot. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you for round number 1. Okay, so we have Pretty good hand, actually. We can go turn 1 Gracer into Amulet. Playing against Goblin Guide always feels great. Give me a land, Gobbo. I know you want to do it. Druid Dryad, that's sick. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go basic forest here. Play my Gracer. Play Vestige. And just play the Amulet. I mean, it's burn, like this is just a buy. So apparently what I heard is that apparently burn versus Amulet is literally as close as it gets to a buy. As in, it's the biggest in terms of the percentage that against any deck has against one another in the modern format. The burn versus Amulet matchup is the cleanest one in terms of it's something like the amount of like the win percentage overall over like hundreds or thousands of games or something like that of Amulet against burn. It's something like 85% or 90% or something like ridiculous. Something completely unreasonable. Sure, I guess I'll win even more. I guess I will win even more. So, just gonna cast Prime Time. I guess might as well make it uncounterable. Like maybe I'm playing against the Maniac who's main decking. Maybe I'm playing against the Maniac who's main decking like Mana Tithe and Burn, you know, and I just lose the game because of it. But yeah, this is very, very much game over. I'm gonna go face, not even kill their dudes. I guess my opponent could like double bolt the Prime Time, but like it doesn't matter. Like it just literally does not matter. Okay, so in this matchup I want Boseiju, and I guess I don't even sideboard actually. Like I want Boseiju over Cavern of Souls for sure, but I think that's it. Like there's no Radiant Fountain, there's nothing like that, so I think we're just gonna submit this and call it a day. Opponent moves to 6 and we have, I guess it's a keep, but I mean this is a problem of playing only 28 lands, right? Like I wish I had access to 32. But it is what it is. So hopefully my opponent's gonna have turn 1 Goblin Guide and they're gonna help me out here. But I would really like to find the land for sure. We do have Scapeshift though. Shift is gonna allow us to find a bunch of bounce lands, and we already have the thing in hand. We already have the Cultivator Colossus, which is nice too. Eidolon may be a problem, actually. Yeah, so I'm just gonna play Steve. I'm gonna take 2 for this, which sucks, but we get to play a land, and then we like get to chump block or something, and then we get to cast Scapeshift next turn. Because I guess Scapeshift allows me to Primeval Titan, which is interesting. Oh no, no, because I'm gonna have no, it's fine. Yeah, it's just fine. Okay, so play land. We're gonna float a mana. Sorry. Play Amulet. Play land. On Giant, whatever. And I'm just gonna fetch here. We'll see if my opponent has smashed his Smithereens. They don't. Okay. So this means I get to cast Scapeshift. So cast Scapeshift. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we get to find 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I can do Crumbling Vestige as the last one. This gives me more mana without costing me a land in play. Boom, boom, flow the mana. We're gonna add green, and this is gonna be 9 mana. I play my land for a turn already, so I'm just gonna, I think we just bounce all of these. Because like Growth Chamber and Crumbling Vestige actually net me the same amount of mana. And I'm gonna be able to pact for Colossus and also cast Primeval Titan this turn. Just doing the thing here. Cultivator Colossus. Triggers. I will announce my trigger. Wow. That sucked. I mean, I guess it's kind of the problem when you're not playing what's his name, right? When you're not playing that many lands. So we're already running into a little bit of an issue there, which I'm not super stoked about. Let's make some red mana here, green mana, sorry. Bounce this. So I think I can play Dryad, but I cannot play Trinket Mage. So even if they have Deflecting Palm, literally doesn't do anything. Play this out. Gonna make some more green mana. Play Primetime. So many game actions, Jesus. so many game actions. Our Battlements, Valakut. So here they can actually, like if they have Path or something, they can Path my Primetime, but like it just doesn't really do anything. We're still very much dead. Let's get another Valakut, and we'll just do this. Just go face. So now they can Deflecting Palm, they Deflecting Palm the Primetime, and I just packed for Gracer or something. Always yes, always yes, always yes, always yield. Do they have the Deflecting Palm? No, they don't. Alright, sweet. We beat the buy. Sinistrum. Okay, another interesting hand. I think I'm gonna keep it, but this is my second match that I'm playing, and I already run into the situation of I think I don't have enough lands, like 3 times already. Yeah. Also, no, the lack of bounce lands doesn't help either. Gobos. All right. Alright, so I'm actually gonna go turn 1 Saga into Amulet here, as opposed to just playing out the Gracer. And the reason for that is that I'd rather, because I drew the Steve, I'd rather play the Cavern on Shaman, so this can give me my my green mana, which I'm lacking otherwise. We can play Gracer next turn if we want to, as long as we're not dead. Mog War Marshal does not kill us. Yeah, that one we can beat very easily. Alright. Do I want to copy? I think I want to Vesuva my Ursa Saga. So let's play this. Let's make it on Snake. It's just more tasteful, you know? So get Steve, fetch for basic forest. And then we're gonna Gracer, play Vesuva, copy Saga. And pass the turn back. So now we're looking kind of okay. Saga can find us a bounce land through Expedition Map. It's just a matter of whether we're gonna have the time or not. That's really the only thing holding us back here. They pay upkeep? Well, it's very good for me. Yeah, I'll block you. Yeah, this is great for me. I can't believe they paid upkeep. Like, what the hell is their hand? Unless they just like end step snoop me and I lose, obviously. But so yeah, probably have to float a mana here and find map just so I can go find my bounce land here. Let's find Growth Chamber. Let's play out Growth Chamber. And I mean, if we don't lose this turn, we should be able to win the next turn. I could make a construct, but I don't think that really matters. Like I mean, the game is gonna end next turn. Like my opponent either kills me because they go like Snoop end step and then they untap and they combo me. So they either win here or I'm gonna win by so much that it's not gonna matter, and I'd rather have the extra land in play, which is more mana for next turn. But if they are Snoop plus Harbinger here, we lose. There's nothing we can do about it. Not a thing that can be done. Another Snoop. That's fine. So they fetched to shuffle. I assume that means that they're looking for Harbinger, which is potentially good for me. They should not uptick this vial, I think, because it allows them to put a second Snoop in play in case I answer the first one. Unless they already have the combo rolled up, in which case they should just violate the Harbinger. But so we know they have a Snoop in hand. Bloodstained Mire. Redraws. Does opponent Lucksack here? Mog Fanatic. Alright. Redraws. Oh, okay, good. We dodged. That's funny. So the last they have one unknown and one Snoop. And that's it. So I think that means that we're gonna win. I guess the last card could be Munitions Expert. Oh, but we beat Munitions Experts anyway, so it's no big deal. Well, I guess that the uptick was correct in case they find Matron off the top. So I guess that's right. Okay. I don't even know what they could have that could kill the Dryad. Maybe they have like a Lord. Maybe the last card is a Lord and they ping the Dryad. So again, like my life total doesn't matter. Like the game's gonna be done right here. So floating mana. Get second Amulet. Summoner's Pact for prime time. Play Bounce Land. Opponent is not in the conceding business, apparently. Here's a Primeval type. Okay, so let's get Valakut and I guess Fetch Land. So the reason to get Fetch Land here is so we can activate at instant speed. Like honestly, it's more for Flourish than anything else. If I'm being honest, I'm just showing off here. that's all that's going on. Yeah, that's another Covenant Giant killed Snoop. Green, Pact, Prime Time, Hunger Battlements, and Valakut. So many Valakut triggers. Just gonna kill all their stuff because I can. Which is honestly the best reason to kill stuff. Stack my triggers, opponent still refuses to concede. Still refuses to concede. But that's fine, I'm actually enjoying it. Gracer feeling frisky too. Gracer getting in there for sure. Okay, now they realize that it was enough. Alright, dismembers, please. Boseiju in case of Blood Moon. We can cut a couple of sagas. Now the question is, do we want Crazes? I don't think we do. How do we want to approach a matchup where I'm expecting Magus of the Moon? Because like this list is not respecting Magus at all. This list is ready to scoop to Magus. Maybe I just want to cut like one Shift, one Colossus. I don't think I want to bring in Forces. That's a little bit too much for my taste, I think. There's an argument for Engineered Explosives because we can actually engineer explosives thanks to the basic forest and the island. Yeah, maybe explosives is just a necessary evil sort of deal. Yeah, let's go with something like that. I'm not even sure if that makes sense. I guess we'll figure it out soon enough. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm keeping this. We have answers to Blood Moon. We have answers to Magus. Answers to the combo. And this is as is a turn 4 kill. I guess it's not a kill because I'm not playing the Hunger package. I guess I am playing the Hunger package, so I guess I should have reassessed. I was assuming that this was gonna be like a turn 4 kill on the draw with interaction, and that's actually just not true. That's a good draw though. So I'm gonna name Cavern on Beast so I can go Gracer turn 1 into Ursa Saga. Makes my mana development a lot smoother. Cavern on turn 2. What do you got, opponents? Cavern on Goblin. Snoop. I might just main face blowing this guy up. That sucks. So my opponent's gonna draw the Matron regardless. So I think I want to just put a stop on their draw step to see what they draw. We're gonna play another Saga. Which again, if they have Magus, we get super blown out, but map allows me to fetch for a basic forest. So they drew Matron. Bogart Harbinger entered the revealed card zone. So what's the best time to dismember this thing now? I think it's in response to the first time that they try to copy. So this means that they're gonna draw like a Kiki-Jiki, which is just bad. So now, yeah, so now the Snoop is gonna try to target itself. I'm gonna dismember this. And I basically blanked their next draw step. So I think that's the best timing to do that. Right, let's see what we draw now. Basic Island. Am I making a construct here? Does the construct matter? Does the construct matter? What's the alternative? The alternative is just doing nothing. So I guess I want to do float mana here. I'm gonna make construct off of this saga. Find Amulet. We're gonna play this. Bounce, Growth Chamber. Play Steve. Fetch, make construct. That's a 3/3, and now we pass the turn. Next turn we can tighten them. So we know they have Matron and Kiki-Jiki in their hand. There's the Matron. So this actually nets me more mana next turn when I'm gonna have that Amulet, which is nice. Snoop has been revealed. They're still pretty far away from assembling the Snoop combo, so we got time. Yeah, all right. So float mana, Amulet of Vigor, fetch for forest, float. This is 4 mana. I guess we can actually make these uncounterable. Sick. This is gonna be a lot of mana. That was a decent draw. I think I'm 1 mana short. 3, yeah, I'm 1 mana short for cracking the map for 1 extra card, which is just unlucky. Just unlucky. So here comes Colossus. Play that. Play that. Again. Kind of whiffed there. I mean, it's not really a whiff when we're winning anyway, but like I would have liked to do more stuff. So playing Dryad is free. It actually nets me mana. And play this out. Still have not played Cavernous. Still have not played Primetime here. So we can... I guess I'm just gonna haste Cultivator Colossus and everything. Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, it's just garbage time. Alright, 2-0, getting very lucky. So, you'll love to see it. Okay, Yorion has been revealed on the other side. And I suspect that this is gonna be one of the matchups that we're gonna be suffering the most from this configuration. Because they have infinite answers to Amulet of Vigor. And that's not good when we're trying to... gonna go all in on this game plan. So I think this hand is strong enough though, so I'm gonna keep it. But so we're gonna go turn 1 Vesuva, copy nothing, turn 2 Growth Chamber. Like if I didn't know my opponent's on the Yorion deck, I would not be keeping this hand. But the fact that I have multiple Gracers and Marsh Flats? Okay. Well, screw me, I guess. Yeah, so we're just gonna do this here. So if they have Magus, I'm gonna be in a world of hurt. They missed the land drop though, which is potentially good for me. And I guess, do we expose this Amulet? I think I have to expose the Amulet so I can cast Colossus next turn. So we're gonna have to dodge this turn, which we did. Sick. All right, so I can combo here. It requires me to sack Saga, and it requires me to basically sack both of these. But I think it's better. So let's copy my basic, and let's float 5 mana. We're gonna Scapeshift with green floating. We're gonna find 4 bounce lands. 1, 3. Damn, the lag is real. Click, click, click. Alright, so now the Colossus is actually gonna die on ETB. Maybe I should have gone in Crumbling Vestige there just to keep the Colossus around. Yeah, maybe that would have been better. Yeah, potentially a punt here. Potentially a punt. I think I'm gonna leave one of each color here. I should have left all green. So we're gonna draw 4 cards. They just concede. I mean, I guess we were gonna win, but I guess we were gonna get there, but like still, like that's kind of an early concession. Anyway, so they probably have Magus. These members find their way in. I like Boseiju. Cutting Ursa Saga. I mean, I'm so afraid of cutting lands with this deck. It's like this deck does not really have a strong B plan, I don't think. I think I can play 1 Force. It's got 3 Scapeshift. I think I'm kind of off the Scapeshift plan here. We can do something like this. And I could even see adding Force of Vigor or Endurance instead. I think I'm kind of off the Scapeshift plan. If I keep Scapeshift, I need to keep at least the Colossus, so that's kind of awkward. Let's try to do this. Like, this is a good matchup for Amulet, as in normal Amulet, as opposed to all in Scapeshift Amulet, so I think I want to try to play that sort of game. This looks fine. It's not the best hand I've ever seen, but like it's functional, it has outs to Blood Moon. We'll get Crisis. So I think I'm keeping. Also turn to Endurance, baby. 3-4 reach. Always vile. Always vile on turn 1. So here is going to be an interesting spot because I think I probably want to play around Magus here. It's going to be March. Prismatic Ending. Charming Prince. It's kind of interesting. So they're just playing like, I mean, it can't be taxes, right? Because they have like fetch lands. I mean, some sort of taxes, I guess. Weird taxes nonsense. So they choose to scry 2. 1 con on top, 1 con on the bottom. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. We're gonna have to, like, this is a little bit awkward. We're gonna have to basically cast the Endurance here, but like, it just slows down their clock so considerably. Here they could have Magus on Prismatic Ending. Yeah, okay. So even better that we played out the Endurance while we had the chance. Now we get 2 explosives on 1 and blow that up after they missed their land drop. Okay. Yeah. So if they have March, we get blown out here, but I think that's fine. But I'm definitely gonna blow up their Vial now. They can play a 2-drop. I don't really care. Like, I don't think there's any 2-drops that I care about. Thalia doesn't do anything. Alright, scratch that. I guess I care about Stoneforge Mystic a little tiny bit. Just a little tiny bit. The good thing though is like, sure, they put Kaldra here. We take 5. Next turn, I guess I'm gonna play Crisis. I could make a Construct. Oh, I can also just draw that. Yeah, that's probably game now. I still want to keep their stuff at bay. In fact, I think I just take it here because of Flicker Wisp. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take it. Giver. Now the question now is, do I play around Mana Tithe? The question is, do we play around Mana Tithe? I'm not going to. Here's an Amulet. Here's a bounce land. Bounce that. Here's Prime Time. And I'm hasting here. My opponent could have Solitude. I think that's fine. I'm willing to take that risk. No Solitude, it looks like. Good, good, good. So let's get, I guess, T-West. And could get a bounce land. Could get Boseiju. This is interesting. I guess I want to get Boseiju. So this sets up lethal for next turn. I think I am gonna dismember Kaldra now. And the reason is otherwise it's gonna be awkward with the Giver Runes. They could have Flicker Wisp or another Charming Prince and blink the Kaldra, but if they do that, like that comes back at end of turn, so doesn't really do anything. I have no packs to pay for. I'm just gonna attack with Primeval Titan here. They top deck the Solitude. That sucks for them. So I guess there's no use in attacking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can play a big Crisis. Seems good to me. Draw 3. Yeah. So we just win next turn. I could have played a bounce land and like bounce this and just go that route instead. I think going this way is better. Like my opponent could have Magus here. Doesn't really matter. Sure. Like I'm killing them in the air. So 1, 2, 3. Dryad. Land. Primeval Titan. More basics. Yeah. So yeah, so actually blowing up the Vial ended up winning me the game. You'll love to see it. See you next round. Round number 4. This hand is very interesting. Like we can go turn 1 Gracer, bounce land, return Vestige. We can play a 3-drop on turn 2, or we can play Scapeshift on turn 4. I think I'm gonna keep it, but like it's not necessarily great. We could pact for Dryad in order to help set up a lethal Scapeshift. We have double bounce land, which make things a little bit awkward, but I still think this is fine. Yeah, redundant Scapeshift, not what we want to see. Not what we want to see here. Okay, so we're playing against, I'm assuming, Creativity? Yeah, oh no, maybe not. Rhinos. Okay, I guess this is just Rhinos. We're chilling here. So Scapeshift's not really doing anything for us. I may just pact for Dryad, however. Particularly my opponent tapping out here. I guess technically this could be Creativity and they just happen to draw their 1 of Snoke over the island. Alright, so opponent iterates Exiling Growth Spiral. Interesting. Dryad? Okay, Summoner's Pact makes me just want to play Dryad here. For Dryad of Deletion Grove. Let's make sure we do proper sequencing here. And pass the turn. I'm ready to lose to Cryptic Command, bouncing my Growth Chamber. Hit me, opponent. Hit me. Oh, okay. So opponent's on Scapeshift as well. Okay. So we're gonna have to find land here. We're gonna ice my Valakut. Okay, that's fine. Another Dryad. Yeah, I think we're just gonna play both lands as I go. I don't think there's anything we can do there. We can haste the primetime here if we don't die. But if my opponent has land, needs to Scapeshift, we lose. Valakut. They're going phase, so I'm assuming that I'm dead. Yeah. Okay. So that's fine. So I think we want Vaseju over Saga. Force of Vigor kills specifically Dryad, so at that point I think I'd rather have Dismember. And then nothing else really does anything for me. So let's go with this. And let's be like a little bit slower. Try to interact with what my opponent's doing. Okay. So this is turn 1 Saga, turn 2 Breeding Pool, go. Turn 3 Dryad, turn 4 Titan. It's not super slow. It's not super fast either, but also this hand gets obliterated by Force of Negation, Force of Vigor. It's good against Fire Ice though. Not super great against Remand. It's like okay against Remand, I guess. So here's Amulet. Here's a Growth Chamber. And here's my Dryad. Good. Good. So we should win next turn, I think. If they don't have a way to interact with me. Force kills me though. And there's nothing I can do about it. Fire Ice doesn't really do anything, I don't think. Oh, they're really looking for that. Really digging for that Force of Vigor. Which makes a ton of sense, because it would it would be very good. So they should be digging. Stomping Ground. Go to discard. They found it. Alright, well played, opponent. We got a Dryad out of the deal. It's not the worst. They want to pact for another Dryad. I do, because even if I want to... I do want to pact for another Dryad here. The reason being, even if things work out my way, I'm still not gonna be able to cast Primetime for like at least 2 more turns. So I'd rather have a Dryad in play when I do cast the Primeval Titan. They have 3 Dryads. That's funny. So now we want to draw our Dismember. Otherwise, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Hey, look at that. So I guess I'm gonna just pass the turn and see if my opponent fetches an end step. I doubt they're gonna. Oh, they are doing something on end step. Got him. Sweet. So now they're down to... Well, I guess if they have Scapeshift, we lose. Because they just have 7 lands. It's a bunch of mana. Yeah. Okay, so they do have the Scapeshift. It's funny because like they discarded the Dryad and they also pitched a Dryad, but it just didn't matter because I had to dismember the Dryad and that did not really work out for me. Yeah, Scapeshift has historically been a terrible matchup for Amulet. It has always been. But this time, because they don't have a Dryad in play, like there's like the very small case scenario where they don't have enough mountains because they already had 4 here. But they do, and that is going to be 18 damage, and I'm going to lose. All right, 3-1. Okay, last round, and this hand looks pretty solid. We can go turn 1 Gracer, turn 2 Dryad. Ooh, wow. That is just a blast from the past. Jeez. We have not seen a single Trinket Mage this entire league. We have not drawn Trinket Mage a single time. I think we have to block here, unfortunately, because like there are combinations of cards that like straight up kill me. Oh, this is really good for me. Yeah, them not doing anything here is pretty good for me. All right. So here we have a couple of ways that we can go about this. I'm definitely playing Dryad. Now the question is whether I play Valakut or whether I play Gruul Turf. We have some pretty different implications. The first one, like if I play Valakut, it's better if I draw exactly Amulet of Vigor. If I play Gruul Turf, it's much better if I draw any of my untap lands, because it means that I'm going to be able to cast Primeval Titan next turn. So I think it's much more likely that I draw one of my untap lands because I have 4 Sagas, 4 basics, I have 2, what's his name? Boseijus, etc. So I think it's correct for me to do this. But that being said, there's definitely upside for going the Valakut route. Also, if I go the Valakut route, I can actually get 1 Valakut trigger next turn if I pact for Sakura Tribe Elder. Not that I'm super stoked about pacting for Sakura Tribe Elder, but you know, gotta do what you gotta do kind of deal. If I draw any land, even if it's a tapped one, that's what I mean. I'll block, thank you. Okay. Blossoming Defense. Untap land. Unfortunate. Very unlucky. Okay, so we're just gonna play that. We're gonna play this. And I think we're just passing the turn, unfortunately. So I'm gonna die in the air, which kind of sucks, but... So my plan here is next turn we're going to cast Primeval Titan. Following turn we're going to set up Dryad. So if opponent has lethal here, they just have lethal. There's nothing I can do. I could have packed for Gracer, but like I'm not triggering Valakut. I could have also packed for Steve, but again I'm not triggering Valakut, so I'm 1 land short. So I think it's better to just cross fingers here. And I think I'm blocking the Glistener Elf. Because if my opponent wants to drop like a bunch of pump spells on this Glistener Elf, then that's fine. But this just looks lethal to me. Oh, that's not lethal. Okay. I mean, it forces a chomp. But it's most definitely not lethal. So if I find another Dryad Saga. So now what I can do is I can kill the Playstinger, because they're down to 1 card. And I think I want to do that, actually. So we're just gonna pact for Dryad. Play Dryad. And I'm just gonna kill the flying threat. Yes, always healed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pay for back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna be 1 mana short regardless, so this is just fine. But I'd rather have more lands in play. But now if they have another scale up, I can just chomp the Glistener Elf. And next turn I have a Charm Blocker with the Ursa Saga token. So I think this is just better. Wow, we got there. That's sick. That is sweet. Awesome. So Dismember's obviously fantastic. Explosives, solid. Boseiju kills Inkmoth. My experience has been that this matchup is kind of weird in that they are much slower than the blue version. So, like, you get to do things like sort of play. You get to play a slower game if you want. They don't rely too much on what's his name, but I think it's fine to bring the second Boseiju over Cavern Soul. They don't rely too much on Inkmoth. Trinket Mage can find explosives, which is pretty nice. But yeah, I think I'd rather just go on the interaction axis. And I don't think I care about Veil of Summer. They have like Thoughtseizes, that's it. They could have Necromentia, actually. Huh, yeah, I guess Necromentia is scary enough. Like, I wouldn't bring in Veil just for Thoughtseize, but Necromentia is a lot scarier than Thoughtseize. Also, shout out to our Royal Gracer for having Reach. The sneakily relevant keyword. I mean, that's literally the only reason why I'm considering bringing in the Endurances, right? It's because of Reach. The fact that it can block flyers. It's quite nice. Black-green Infect, though. I have not seen this deck in a minute. And it looked like it was straight up black-green as opposed to... I remember like in the latest Vegas event, there was like an Infect deck in the top 8, and that was Bug. That was like straight up Bug. It was also splashing blue for what's his name. I thought that deck was very cool, but like the mana base just was not functional. Let's mulligan this. I guess we're gonna keep this. I'm gonna bottom the island. Well, we are protected for Discard spells from Discard spells and removal. Turn 1 Glistener Elf. Very scary. Very, very scary. And this is why I never like Veil of Summer in this style of decks. In Amulet, it just always ends up underperforming because like you literally cannot spare the mana when it matters, right? Alright, this somehow worked out. Why was my opponent not... I guess that they just wanted to like get in there with Glistener Elf or whatever. I mean, we got super rewarded there, I guess. Clearly, I'm a master. So let's play Vestige and Steve. Yeah, this is working out real nice. Also, my opponent missing the land drop here is huge, obviously. They have Force? If they have Force, do I fetch in response? I don't think so. I think that blocking is better. Also, blocking kind of forces them to use a pump spell. Well, now it doesn't. But now I know they don't have mana, so I'm just not gonna block. Wow, they just do nothing? Okay, so we just prime time next turn and we are protected by Veil of Summer. This looks okay. This looks okay. We also get to cast this Endurance. So. And they have become immense. I'm just gonna take their graveyard here. Block and block. I would consider even not fetching here, honestly. I mean, I'm going to because I need the mana to cast Prime Time next turn, but like, kind of forcing the trade is very nice. Let's get a green source here so we can hold up Veil. So we're just gonna eat a Glistener Elf for free, and then we're gonna have a blocker for their potential flying threat next turn. Boom. I will take 0 Infect, please, and thank you. Plague Stinger. And I still am gonna chill on this Veil of Summer. Like, we can have it active next turn if we want to. So we're gonna hold up the bounce in hand, so we can get haste here. If my opponent has the Black Force, I will accept my loss here. I will accept my L. My opponent deserves it more if they have the Black Force. It would be nice to be able to block, but it is what it is, I guess. So I definitely want to get Boseiju, because it means I can hold up Veil while also doing the thing. I think this is what's up. The problem is like we may lose here because this doesn't like we were a lock to win if we were playing Boros Garrison because we can just block the Glistener and block the Endurance, and block the Playstinger. So you know, once again, battlements showing how much it sucks. But yeah, so that they just may kill me here, but there's nothing I can do. Oh. Well, this I can accept. Okay. So these should be lethal now. Because we have the Veil protection. So transmute. Pact. Pact. Dryad. 1, 2, 3. Play Dryad. We could even haste the Dryad if we wanted to. Even if they have Decay or whatever. Just we get Veil, so. I guess Force Veil does not protect me from Force of Vigor. Alright. Alright. Okay. So how do we... where do we go from here? The funniest thing, like I could have just played another Titan, right? I just went for Dryad. Alright. Veil got me good. So I think I'm supposed to pass the turn here and set up lethal for next turn. So we pay for Pact. We can't transmute actually, and I didn't play my extra land drop. Whoops. Yeah, I'm just gonna jam. Like if they have, I'm at 8 and they can have 6. This becomes a 6/4 and then +1. So they still need 2 pump spells, and if they have 2 pump spells, I'm gonna lose anyway. So I think I'm supposed to attack here and set up lethal for the following turn. And we're just hoping that they draw like a removal spell or something like that. They didn't cycle Peatland. That has to be a mistake. That just has to be a mistake. Yeah, they should have cycled Peatland last turn. So again, I lose to double pump spell here, but yeah, it's not super likely that they have it. And I would lose to double pump spell regardless, whether I attack with the Prime Temur or whether I hold it back to block. So I think it's better to attack. Okay, this was very interesting. This was very, very interesting. We won most of the matches just by being an Amulet deck, and we didn't really care about the whole Scapeshift thing. But the lack of lands mattered multiple times. Like, I know that we're playing 4 Scapeshift and like 3 Trinket Mages and stuff, but like it really affects your consistency. I feel like this is just too much. I don't think that this just works. Because in order to make this work, you're making your overall deck worse in pretty significant fashion. So I think that unfortunately, like this is a great deck. This was a great deck building experiment. And again, like I won 4 out of 5 matches, right? But I did play against a bunch of good matchups. My opponents missed land drops and stuff like that, so I don't think it's particularly telling in any case. But the whole Scapeshift thing was just very awkward. Like I drew multiple Scapeshift a couple of times, and they were just like blanks. So even though I am a fan of Scapeshift as a card in Amulet, I think that any copy past the second one is just actively bad. It's the same with Cultivator Colossus, right? Like the first copy is just fantastic to have in your deck because there are some situations where Colossus will just go so over the top of anything else your opponent could be doing. But every copy after the first one that you have in your deck is making your draws clunkier, and it doesn't really add anything because after you've cast the first Colossus, like the second Colossus is pretty much like it doesn't really add too much to the whole thing. So because of that, the Scapeshift thing does not seem the right thing to go all in on. But it was very interesting, and I did like the way that this deck was built. I liked the way that the player who built it was thinking about like making concessions to make this work. I just think that the concessions to make it work are just making your deck worse. Like the deck just felt worse overall, you know, like I I felt like when I got there was because I was getting lucky, as opposed to like regular Amulet. Whenever, you know, just when your deck is built to be consistent and to do its thing, like it just kind of feels like when you do the thing, it's just what the deck's supposed to do, as opposed to, oh, everything lined up perfectly, this is great. So definitely an interesting way to approach deck building for sure. That's gonna be it for me though. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought about it. And finally, if you're interested in supporting the stream, you can do so through Patreon, you can do so through donations, and I can play any decklist of your choosing when you make a donation of $30 or more. And finally, you can also book coaching sessions if you're interested in taking your gaming to the next level. That's gonna be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.